Hi, I'm Crystal, and today I'm going to talk about the Hardbound journal die by Eileen Hull for Sizzix and its companion die, Journal Hardware. I'm going to discuss these today because both dies have hit the clearance section at quite a number of retailers, with crazy cheap prices in some instances. So I have shopping links for your convenience. None of those are affiliate links, as well as detailed measurements available as a PDF download. I really struggled to find detailed information about this die before I bought it. I really like to see the detailed measurements, and those just didn't seem to be online anyplace. So I have taken the detailed measurements and made those available. But the basic journal shape is about 6 inches tall by 5 inches wide. It cuts the cover with 5 holes, and you can also use it to cut pages in several different ways. There's a matching spine and 2 labels on this particular die. The companion die is called Journal Hardware, and while these were released together and are advertised as working together, I don't know that they necessarily go together aside from both pertaining to journals. So the companion die is probably a little more versatile in that it doesn't cut a die itself. It just has various decorative elements, closures, and a pin loop. And so these could certainly be used on a purchase journal as well as one that you were making yourself. But in both cases, I've taken detailed measurements, and I have PDFs that you can download or view if you just want to see those measurements in inches or centimeters. Now, I also struggled to find instructions on how to assemble the hardbound journal once I had die cut it. So I've got links to a couple of different videos below, and then I did one binding myself, and I'm also going to talk about a method that does not work. So first is a Japanese stab binding, and this one I've linked the instructional video, but the cover in this case has to be soft because it must be scored. If the cover is hard, you won't be able to open it to get to your pages. But this was very easy to do. It makes a nice booklet. You can have shaped pages, and it was really very simple. So I like this method, and I think that it's great if you don't mind a soft cover. Now the next method is one that Eileen Hull demonstrated in a live. I've got that linked as well. And in this case, you can have a hard cover for this hardbound journal, and the pages then are die cut using a partial die cut method and sewn in as a sewn signature. So this was also pretty easy to do. It makes a nice finished appearance on the spine. In this case, I have made this hardbound journal from a takeout bag from our favorite tie place. There's the stamp they put on their bags. The cover is very, very hard, and the process was pretty easy. So the thing that Eileen demonstrates that makes this possible is a partial die cutting trick for the pages. I also want to mention, in case you struggle getting things right side up in the die, like I do, that this die is symmetrical top to bottom. So if you've got your paper wrong side up, you can flip the piece over and everything still aligns. That is an important detail, and not every die is made in that fashion. Now for the partial die cutting trick, what Eileen suggests is that you mask off half the holes on the little journal piece of this die, then fold your piece of paper in half, put the fold up against your washi tape mask, then die cut your pages that way. So what that gives you is a page suitable for a sewn signature with the holes right in the middle of the fold. You could, of course, just use a craft pokey tool or a jig of some kind to make your own holes, but this way you get a nice shaped page that matches the cover, and you can use the die itself to make your pages. It's a very simple process, and it makes a nice page with the holes ready for the sewn signature. The third method is what I did, and it is just cutting the pages and the cover and using 1-inch ring binders. Again, you can have a hard cover because the rings allow you to fully open that hard cover, so you don't need scoring. And I just used regular 1-inch ring binders to do this. Very simple, although I did need a slightly thinner ring to make it work. Now, you might think this is the method that won't work. You might think that you can just wrap this around the spine and put your holes front and back and then have a decorative spine on the outside of the book. But this will not work, and this is why. The margin from the hole to the edge of the spine die is smaller than the margin from the hole to the edge of the page. So since those measurements don't align, you can't wrap the spine around the book and get the holes to align. So I'm showing the measurements on the screen, but it's quite a substantial difference when you're talking about something where you need to sew. It's just not going to line up. So when I looked at the die in the package, I thought that I could do it this way, but it absolutely won't go. But that's okay. We have several other options. Well, next, let's take a look at all of the hardware that comes with the hardware die, as well as the labels that come with the hardbound journal die. So on the bottom row are the pieces that come on the hardware die, and one of the closures also cuts out a heart, and then on the top are the two labels that come with the hardbound journal. This piece is the pin loop, and it is scored, although it's hard to see on that white piece of paper. So pin loop is often very handy. So overall, I think this is a good assortment of shapes. And if you are interested in this die, I hope this amount of information is helpful to you in making a decision about whether to go shopping. And I thank you for joining me today.